Today I'm making a quilt that will blow your mind. I am telling you, this is by far the most beautiful scrappy quilt I've made in my 15 years of quilting. And it is also one of the easiest I've ever done. If you're looking for something basic but jaw-dropping, this is the video for you. I have a pile of scraps right here. It's kind of my box of shame because I know my organizing skills are awful and I should do better. However, I have to say this kind of gives it a dramatic effect I love when I'm picking scraps. It's like I'm looking for buried treasures and I always find something great. We want squares but also strips, so perfect for destashing your leftover fabric. Here's the fabric we need. 4 4.5-inch squares. We need 8 2-point-inch squares of background fabric, so the same fabric for all of them. We also need 1 2.5 by 6.5-inch rectangle and 2 2.5-inch squares from the same fabric, and I'm using leftovers from my jelly roll strips for this one. Last but certainly not least, 4 2.5-inch squares from a nice contrasting fabric. And if for some reason you don't have enough fabric for all the pieces that are supposed to be from the same fabric, that's not a problem. Just pick similar colors and you're good to go. We just want pretty colors and nice contrasts. I also think this quilt pattern benefits from having different color blocks, so I'm not using the same fabrics or the same colors for that matter for each block. And let's get started. First, we want to pair up our small background squares with our bigger squares, all in different colors. And you can do them all in one fabric, but I'm using different ones because I am using scraps. And I also want to show off as many fabrics as I can for this. Let's draw a diagonal line and sew both of them. I'm hoping that by the time we're done, this quilt will be an incredible burst of colors and that we will want to look at it for a very long time, noticing not only the pattern, but also the different fabrics on it. So we want diversity, and we can never really have too many pretty fabrics in a quilt. I don't think so. And this is probably the easiest block anyone can make, and this element alone is pretty versatile. We can make a gorgeous quilt just with these. And we have actually. Remember the fireworks quilt? Oh, stunning. It's all about the fabrics. They are the stars here. I am aiming to get 9 10-inch blocks by the time I'm done, so I need 36 of these. You can of course make as many as you want or need. In fact, I'm guessing that after these 9, I may just keep going off camera and make myself a stunning quilt. And as you can see, you can make this quilt top 2 ways. Well, this applies to most quilt tops really. You can make one block at a time, or you can make them in bulk. And this is totally a matter of personal preference if you're a hobby quilter. You can just enjoy the process of making each element at a time, then combine them and watch the blocks come together, which is kind of magical if I may say so myself. If you had told me when I first started quilting that 15 years later I would still be this excited about a quilt, I would not have believed you. And yet, there's still so much to learn and be excited about. But the thing about creative people like us is we don't just stop at one crafty hobby, do we? We want to learn all of them. Luckily, we have Craftsy to give us a hand. They are the sponsor for this video and I am the biggest fan of their classes. Craftsy is your online community for all things creative, with more than 2,000 classes for all skill levels in more than 20 categories like sewing, drawing, baking, knitting, loads of awesome quilting classes of course, and so much more. So if you're looking for inspiration and new ideas, you'll find it there. All the classes I've taken, and there have been quite a few by now, are taught by awesome instructors. They break them down into short, easy to follow lessons that you can take at your own pace, and there's also this feeling of being a part of a community that I love. It helps keep me motivated as I go. I can now proudly say I know how to crochet thanks to a basics crochet class, and before that I honed in on my sourdough skills with a handmade sourdough class that taught me so much, even though I've been baking bread for years. Every day I find a new class on Craftsy I cannot wait to take, like knitting socks. I definitely want to learn how to do that. Craftsy is for creative people like us who never want to stop learning, and the first 1,000 people to click on the link in the description will get a full year of premium Craftsy membership for only $1.49. This offer is for new members only. That's a huge discount, just $1.49 instead of $123 to get unlimited access to thousands of inspiring classes for 1 year. So join Craftsy today and make sure you do not miss out. And the next step is making our pluses. And I always love plus quilts because they always look really complicated when in fact they're really simple to make. We just need to make them in small segments. So first the top and bottom and then the sides. Pressing is also a really big deal for them because if we want a crisp look, and we do, we need them nice and flat. And remember, we want our tips to create a big contrast with our plus shape. You know, when I first saw this quilt pattern, I didn't even notice the plus. It looked more like a sash joint really. So it's kind of funny to me that when we make the blocks separately, they are the main feature. I do hope I'll be able to mix them properly with the other pieces and get them to blend nicely into all the elements though. Now, if you don't have a lot of time or if you're a professional quilter, odds are you make your quilts in bulk, which kind of resembles an assembly line of sorts. First you cut all the fabrics, then you sew all the fabrics, and then you trim all the fabrics. You see where I'm going with this? We just do the same process to all elements at a time instead of doing one block at a time. For me personally, I enjoy making my quilts both ways. I love the efficiency of a good assembly process in bulk, but of course, creating a block one step at a time is pretty cool too. How about you? How do you normally assemble your quilts? Do you do it one block at a time or in bulk? Please let me know, I'd love to know. All our elements are done and looking pretty cute. Time to assemble our blocks. This is called an accent plus quilt, so that's what we want by the time we're done. And that's pretty easy too. In fact, this is one of those quilts I love where you see it all together and it's stunning and very complex looking, but then you deconstruct and it's beginner level really. This quilt has been attributed to Nancy Cabot, created in 1938, but it became really popular recently when a Japanese quilter, Satsuko Inagawa, entered the quilt with these blocks in the Tokyo show and people went crazy with it. I get it, that was my reaction too when I first saw it. Ah, stunning! Time to puzzle. Well, it's a small puzzle actually, but a stunning one at that. Like I said, I want the pluses to show, but not too much. I want them all to make perfect sense together, like they belong. And this is all leftover fabric and scraps, so there is a lot to love about this quilt pattern. The only rule here is that the same fabrics don't touch, of course. Other than that, just combine them as you prefer. For me, it's all about the blending of the elements to make it look like I took a lot of time and effort to make them sit this way, when in fact, how easy was this? Shh, don't tell anyone, it's our little secret. And you know what? I think we've got it. This is looking absolutely perfect. And here we have it. Just look at how perfect this turned out. Our stunning accent plus quilt pattern, done in a jiffy, entirely out of scraps, all ready to go. I am definitely going to keep it up. This deserves a whole quilt. I love this, I hope you did too, and I will see you really soon. Bye bye!